First off, I understand you just got back from LA. Was that your first time in the city?
I was actually. I've driven through there before because I used to live in SoCal, but I've never just like been in the city like around like doing shit.
Oh shit, I thought you were born in the Bay Area. I didn't know you're where were you born? Where are you from in SoCal?
No. I've moved around SoCal for like most of my like childhood. I was like I think when I first came there I was like 4 and I stayed in San Diego for quite a bit and then I moved to OC and just
Oh
stayed
shit.
around there. Yeah, I moved to the Bay like 2 years ago.
Oh, awesome. Okay, well, damn, I fucked up not doing enough research then. But
Oh,
that's
you're
awesome.
good. You're good. I don't think
That's
that's anywhere.
all right. That's awesome though. But from what I can gather, I mean, you met up with like a ton of goddamn people in there. I was big mad
Yeah.
because I was big mad because I was set to interview Midwest while you guys were all down there, but then things fell
Mhm.
through last minute. But um, I understand you've been friends with everyone in that group for a minute. But what was meeting everyone in person for the first time like?
It was crazy, because I've known these kids not even as long, not as long as they've known each other type, but
Hmm.
I've known everyone I met up with for like half a year now. It was really crazy meeting everyone in real life, like seeing what everyone like actually looks like and actually like acts like. It was crazy though. It was very fun.
Yeah, like you can only get like so much of a sense of what someone's like through Discord.
Yeah,
Um,
pretty much. Yeah, but yeah, it was fun.
all right. Particularly, I need you to be honest with this next question because I know this might be difficult for you to admit. Was everyone as tall as they say they are?
Okay, so let's go case by case. True 8K told me he was 6'3".
Hmm.
He was in fact 6'3".
Oh, that hurts.
That hurts.
Uh-huh.
Edgar Midwest
Hmm.
was, I think he told me he was like, I don't know how tall he told me he was, but I'm taller than him, so that's really all that matters.
Nice, nice. Okay.
Uh, Glaive, too fucking tall. That's
I've heard
really all
Glave's
that
like a
matters.
fucking giraffe, dude.
He's just he's just way too tall. He stepped, and I had to like look up, and that I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I didn't like that one bit. But yeah, no, everyone's just about as tall as they said they were.
Okay,
With
that's
a few kinks here and there.
yeah.
But yeah, pretty much.
Nobody lied too much about their height. I'd be dying to know if anybody was like, yeah, I'm 6'2", in reality they're like 5'11" or anything like that.
Fuck. Not that I've seen yet, but I feel like it's coming. Because Angelus said has been going around saying they were 6'1" for months, and then like a couple of weeks ago was like, I just found out I'm 5'8".
5'8". Wait a second.
Yeah.
It's
What
a
it?
bit of a disparity. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Um.
bit of a fuck up.
Yeah. Okay. So, but you and I are both from California. I'm from San Diego as well.
It's
But
hard.
yeah. So we're both native to California. But I know a lot of these people that flew in, potentially even like their first time in California. So I gotta ask because I know there was at least one person doing it who was talking shit on In and Out.
Oh, dude, holy fuck. Okay, so like this has happened so many fucking times, dude. Where do you know the East Coast people love coming? It's their
Everybody talks
favorite
shit
thing,
on it for
dude.
no reason.
It's their favorite thing. They come in, they eat it in and out. They're like, this is okay. It wasn't anything great. I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure Edgar did that. I'm pretty sure Ash did that. I'm pretty sure I don't know if Keegan even went to In and Out, but it was so, dude. I don't like that because In and Out is so good.
You know, it's
In and
fire. I
Out's
don't know how
like
anyone could look at animal style fries and be like, this is mid. Yeah,
it's
whatever.
top tier because you can literally get an entire meal for like $7. Like that's part
Facts.
of the thing. Like you're getting a
Mm.
decent like meal for not 20 fucking bucks. Like
Yeah, that's facts. And like I know Eric as well. Eric was talking mad shit on In and Out like a
oh,
while back.
fucking mad shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Like fucking like I went to New York for the first time and I tried Shake Shack and I was like, "Dang, this is really good." And I tweeted like I enjoyed every bite of that. But then everybody comes to California and talks shit on In and Out.
I, I did not do that. I went to Shake Shack. I said that shit was mid. It
Really?
was.
Really?
Yeah,
I like In and Out, or I like Shake Shack and In and Out both, but
it was
yeah.
okay, honestly.
Right.
But it wasn't anything special because it's like not expensive food, but it's like I
Mm,
could get something that's the same quality for like
right.
way cheaper at In and Out. I'm just talking my shit, but
No, you're
yeah,
fine. Go for it. That's what I brought you here to do. Uh, but yeah, no, I mean, it's awesome that you guys were able to have like a big meetup like that, regardless of, difference of opinions on fast food. Because you guys are like really at like the forefront of a scene that's like pretty much developed almost entirely online. And, there were
hmm
people, there's like, Dorian Electro, all that shit, like people making music in this similar sort of vein prior to the pandemic, but like quarantine really has just like shot it up and given it a trajectory it never
oh,
had before.
100%.
So I'm wondering, how is having to do like literally everything online like changed or like formed the way that you approach making music?
It's pretty regular for me. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's regular for a lot of people because a lot of people weren't. A lot of these kids like knew each other,
Hmm.
you know, for years, like before even making music, like they were just like people on Discord that knew each other and like they learned how to make music from each other.
Hmm.
And I kind of stepped in the same vein. So I think the new thing is like meeting each other in real life and making
Hmm.
music. But I think as far as, you know, making music online, it's pretty regulate. Like the person I work with the most, like Hollow lives in like fucking
Hmm.
Scotland. I'm in California, obviously. Like
Oh, it's in
it,
Scotland. Holy shit! What?
yeah, it's like, and that sounds like weird, but it's just like internet shit, you know. I think
Mm.
making music on the internet is like I don't know, it's a really special thing, I think.
Yeah, and like it's crazy that there's still like a lot of unknowns. Like I mean, like for you, like the first time meeting a lot of these people in person was just like a week ago. Like
Hmm.
what? How do you think it's gonna feel when like somebody like recognizes you on the street for the first time?
Uh, I don't know. It was it's gonna be super weird because I think someone recognized me like at the place we were at, and I was like, "Oh, you're Juno." I was like that. It's just super weird because it's like it was even super weird like seeing people that like not even like my friends, but just people I've seen on social media like at the same place that I was at. It's like you don't think of these people almost as real people. You think of them as like
Hmm.
people you only see on social media, like almost like seeing people you see on TV in person. Like
Right.
it's gonna be kind of weird, but it's gonna happen eventually. You know, like
Hmm.
everyone's gonna have to see each other.
Right. And I mean, like one environment that like everybody might see each other in is like obviously like shows. Like it's crazy to think that there's never been like a show where like Delete Zeke has seen people moshing to like 52 Blue Mondays. You've never heard a crowd like scream the lyrics to Insomnia back at you. So
Hmm.
I'm wondering like what do you think is going to happen to the scene once like quarantine ends and live shows open back up?
Jesus Christ, it's gonna be dude, holy shit, I can't even think because it's such a fucking unknown variable,
Hmm.
but it's gonna happen sooner or later. Like there are shows set for like end of this year. I think for like some of the bigger people, they're like
Hmm.
next year is gonna be in it's a complete fucking like nosedive. But
Hmm.
you know, at the end of the day, these are a lot of like kids in their bedroom that are like they don't even know what they don't they're not like set performers. They're not like they don't know everything that comes with this, and like
Hmm.
myself included, like it, it's gonna be fucking weird, but it's gonna
Hmm.
be a lot of fun, I think, to see what people look like in real life, like what the fans look like in real life. Like I don't even
Hmm.
really know what the audience like is, to be honest.
Yeah, like you can go back and look at like the Bloodhounds show, and that, but that's like the best representation we have of this, and that's like so far ago. It seems like a fucking
Yeah, the
decade
Bloodhound
ago.
show and the IOA show,
Hmm.
like all of those, like from 2019,
Yeah,
like we have like everything's transformed over the past like year to the point where we
hmm
don't even know. Like people have come and gone. You don't know.
yeah. I'm just like I'm imagining like Eric performing on stage and then bringing fucking Glaive's Goliath transformer ass out on stage. Yeah. But next I wanted to talk about Insomnia. That shit hit how many streams on Spotify recently?
I think it just hit 300K
That's
at the time of this. Yeah.
yeah, that's seriously fucking impressive. Can you walk us through how that song came to be?
So I already had one song with Hollow, who I met on Twitter like a month prior in November, and
Hmm.
then we hadn't made any other like songs yet. They sent me like one beat like after Karma, and I was like, eh. And then they
Hmm.
sent me the Insomnia beat, and at first I wasn't even gonna hop on it. I didn't. I was like very. It was almost confusing. Like I didn't know what I was gonna do. But at like 3 a.m., I was in a Discord call with like two other people, and they were watching like Adventure Time or some shit, and I deafened, and I just opened the beat in FL, and I was like, I just started recording on it, and then I showed it to them, and they were like, "That's cool." So I finished it, and then I was thinking, I almost was gonna finish it myself, and I was like, I don't know, like I don't know what I would even do here. So the only other person I could even think of getting on it was Avit, who I had known for a couple months at the time. Like we entered the community around the same time, and I knew they were really good with like punk shit because I knew their history. Like they came from like a like metalcore band and like shit. So I was like, okay, like I just hit them up. I was like, yo, if you're not busy, like I have this open for you. They're like, sure. They hit it back in like 2 weeks. I dropped it on my birthday, and it was doing like okay. I think it had like 10K in the first like 3 weeks, and then the fucking Glaive and Eric got the hyperpop playlist. Like I
Hmm.
think Eric put that shit at like number 3, and I'm so grateful because it's just been
Yeah.
nonstop from there.
That's awesome. Yeah, holy shit. That's crazy that like just like something like that can influence like the trajectory a song has to so much to such an extent. And
It, it's insane.
Yeah, like Insomnia in particular feels like such like a unique blend of a lot of different shit. Like you said, like punk and like metal and all this other stuff.
Hmm.
And you've been very adamant about bringing like pop punk back into like relevance. So I'm wondering, what are some of like your biggest influences when it comes to your style that you inhabit?
Jesus Christ. Okay, so like 100% number one is like my favorite Fall Out Boy album, like fucking From Under the Cork Tree. I love that album so fucking much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Fall Out Boy, early Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, All Time Low, Rise Against, 3 Days Grace, The Offspring, Paramore,
Damn,
Thousands of
you got a big old list ready for it, huh?
dude, everything from like 2000 to like I don't know, like 2011, like pop punk,
Mm-hmm.
like that shit is so important to me because that's like the first genre like I ever like found on my own. Like I searched out and I like liked that music like before I even got into like rap music or anything like that's what I was listening to, and I'm very adamant about like making that like back. I want to bring it back because it's like I think that shit is like
Mm-hmm.
really really fun, and I don't think a lot of people have like incorporated it into like their main sound, and I don't want to like just go around like copying people. So
Right, and bring it back in like a genuine way, not like an MGK way, like all that.
yeah,
All,
there's a lot of like
yeah.
yeah, obviously no talking shit, but there's
Mm-hmm.
obviously like people bringing it back in a sort of way. Like it's not
Mm-hmm.
that nobody's ever done it before, but I do think it's a bit of it does feel a bit, like artificial in
Mm-hmm.
how it's been done, at least to me in the
Right.
mainstream.
No, I can totally relate to that. Like, I think just, like, I think, like, for example, there are artists that incorporated, like, bits and pieces of it, like, for example, like, Peep and shit like that, like, incorporated, like, really
Mhm.
solid chunks of it, but then
Yeah,
just, like, people that do, like, a 90-degree turn and just, like, hey, I'm doing pop punk now, like, fucking MGK. Um,
yeah, that shit is. It's no disrespect to MGK because he's fine, but it's
mhm,
like you know what I'm talking about. And also, it's like
yeah.
it's something that hasn't been done. Not hasn't been done. It's definitely been done in this community.
Hmm.
But I think someone that like can incorporate it and make it like its
Hmm.
own thing in this community, I don't think that's been done too much before. So that's what I'm shooting for.
Right, yeah, and I mean, in my opinion, it's a really, really fantastic sound. That's like the one thing that like drew me in the most. I mean, I found you off of Karma, and then like just
Hmm.
since then, I've just like loved pretty much everything you've put out. And your most recent release, obsessed with production from Hollow as per usual. But
Usual, of course.
yeah, I'm just wondering, like you mentioned that they're from Scotland. How the fuck did you meet up with them? How did you get in contact with them for the first time?
Twitter. Everything happens
Mhm.
through Twitter and Discord these days. But I tweeted some shit back in like November
Mhm.
that was like somebody sent pop beats because I'd never even made some shit like Karma before I made Karma.
Mhm.
So I tweeted out who has pop beats, like some shit like that, because I was just looking for producers because no one was really sending me beats back then. No one knew who I was. So
Mhm.
I just tweeted some shit like that out. Someone tagged Holland was like, "You gotta work with this dude." Holland was like, "Yo," they DM'd me. They were like, "I don't really have like too many proud credits to my name," but they sent me Talk Down by Wikipedia, and I was like,
Mm.
Jesus, this is like
Mhm.
insane. And they're like, yeah, like I can send you some shit. And they sent me one beat in one Dropbox, and it was the
Mhm.
Karma beat. And I was like, this is insane. And I made
Mhm.
it like a
Mhm.
week later, and then the rest is history. That we've just been going back and forth since then.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane to see the progression you've made since like just Karma. I remember I was scrolling through and I think I found it off like somebody retweeted like that video of you like playing Bed Wars with like your webcam on top of it and shit. And I was like, oh,
Yes,
this is
that
crazy.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
That
Yeah.
actually wasn't me, by the way. That was Roxas. Shout out Roxas.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. My bad.
No, that
But
wasn't my gameplay. Yeah, no.
okay. All right. But yeah, and like I mean, of course, getting to like the point with like Obsessed, like your most recent release.
Hmm.
In my opinion, fantastic track. I think you fucking murdered that shit. But
Thank you. Appreciate that a lot, actually.
before you'd be able to get to Obsessed, you'd have to go through months of tracks that potentially might not even be like, for example, like public anymore. How do you look
Hmm.
back on like your music that when you were like just starting out?
Shit. It was a learning stage. It was a learning curve for a lot of shit, and it
Mm-hmm.
was like I didn't have everything that I wanted. Like I didn't have all the tools. I didn't even have. I think what I had before I made Karma, I didn't even have like autotune or anything, so I didn't have a PC that could run it. Like I was just. I've been making shit for like 2 years, just on
Mm-hmm.
whatever I could. Like dropping some songs. Like most of the songs I ever made before that were not public,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm sure if you like look for it, you can find it. But stuff like that, like it was a big learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, it got me to where I am today, so I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like pretty much anybody, I think, like especially starting out, is gonna release a lot of garbage, like a lot of shit that's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah. Like I mean, I was fucking before I started doing this shit, I was a Minecraft YouTuber. I mean, I don't want to talk about it when I was like 12 years old. So yeah, we've come a long way. Um, but next, I gotta ask you something that hits close to home because we're about the same age. You're 16, right?
Hmm.
Okay, I'm 17. And
That's
whenever people,
hard.
yeah, whenever
Yeah.
people see artists like you achieve like such incredible things, there's like usually like two schools of thought that people fall into.
Mm.
A lot of people look at you being 16 or like Eric being 18 or like Glaive going fucking stupid nuclear right now at the age of 16 as well.
Hmm.
And they think like, oh, if these people can do it, then I can do it as well. But unfortunately, there's like the flip side of things where a lot of people look at you guys and they're just like, damn, I've accomplished nothing by comparison. What would you say to maybe somebody's in that like sort of discouraged position?
Jesus. Dude, you can literally do this at any age. Because there are
Mm-hmm.
people even going like dumber than me. Like Lou is 13 years old
Mm-hmm.
and is one of the most cracked musicians I've ever met. She's like actually insane.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like obviously there's so many examples of like legends in music that like weren't doing anything until they were like 30 or
Mm-hmm.
40. Like Jay-Z didn't go anything until he was like 27 or some shit like that. I don't know the exact age, but
Mm-hmm.
dude, you can literally do this at any age, and it doesn't even matter if it's music or media or anything. Like you'll know when it comes to you, because I was doing like so much other shit that just didn't work before this. Like I wanted to be a fucking commentary YouTuber. I wanted to do art. I wanted to fucking do a bunch of shit that just never worked out, and this was the thing. And who knows, there might be even a different thing in a couple of years, you know. But like, it doesn't stop just because you hit a certain age. It's never too late. Like, was this
Mm-hmm.
literally like what 24 or some shit, and she's
Mm-hmm.
still going stupid? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter.
All right. Well, I'm happy you went down the route of dropping bangers instead of talking about like leafies here and shit. So um, I'm happy you went down that route. Um,
Definitely, me too.
Yeah, but I mean, like the flip side of that is like obviously artists can always be, or obvious artists usually are their own worst critics. Like I think any creative can relate to that feeling of like people being like, "Oh, holy shit, this is so good! You're like so talented," but then you can only really see its flaws. You're not seeing all like the things that people are praising about it.
Yeah.
So, and it's easy to feel like maybe you don't stack up to the other people in like your field that might be making similar music to you.
Hmm.
Have you ever felt like a sort of like imposter syndrome like that or no?
Oh, dude, you have no idea. Every day, I'm like my best friends are like, dude, dude, my good friends are like, oh, it's so good at music. Like the lead singer is one of my best friends,
Mm,
and that motherfucker is so insanely talented at music, and
mm,
they make it look easy, dude. They make it
yeah.
look effortless, and like when you're when you're like you try your hardest, but like inevitably you're gonna like compare yourself to that. And when you think about it, like you're like, oh, well, I don't stack up. Like I don't. I've always felt like, damn, I'm not as good as these kids. Like I, I don't know how the fuck I got here,
Mm,
but it's just it's always in your head, and you just can't think about it too much. Because obviously, like if you're there for a reason, you know. But
right. Yeah. I mean, like
yeah,
I can't imagine like because like I mean, Teen Week was holy fucking shit. Teen Week was really good.
dude,
So yeah.
yeah,
Um,
Zeke is a legend, dude. Shout out Zeke.
shout out Zeke. Yeah. And then transitioning a bit, I think we can both agree. We're both in high school. I think we can both agree. Online school fucking sucks. I hate this shit. I haven't retained a single bit of information this entire semester. So,
Dude, I'm
um,
failing. Holy shit.
I mean, like, and like the thing is, I'm barely even like managing my sanity and school at the same time. I can't imagine tossing a music career on top of this shit. So, what are you doing to sort of stay sane during all this?
Dude, so I was like an A B student
Mm-hmm.
like for every year before this one, and then this happened. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been a bit it's been a bit challenging. It's been a bit fucked up, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, like we move.
Right.
It's just like every good thing that's pretty much happened with music. Like every time something better and better has happened with music, like something with school has just gone down. But hopefully, you know, balancing things is really important. I think in like everybody's life, but especially if you're trying to do a creative thing and trying to do school, especially in the state where things are at now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I hope things would be better in real life, but I have no clue. But especially in online school,
Mm-hmm.
like dude, Jesus, you know, like that shit is just
Yeah.
is crazy difficult. It's really easy to fall behind.
Yeah, it's frustrating too because then of course there's like stupid ass parents that are like, oh, we need our kids back in class when it's like
Yeah.
shut up, Marilyn or whatever. I'm sure your I'm sure your son would rather do a little bit worse in algebra than like die in class. Like yeah,
No,
but
literally.
it's not a perfect situation. But I mean I can't blame like the educators or anything like that. So it's just a rough
Hmm.
situation.
Yeah, it's a rough situation for everyone, for real.
But I mean, it's impressive alone that you've been able to like maintain at least like some balance throughout this entire thing. Because from what I can gather, you're entirely self-taught, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I don't. Well, to be fair, I don't produce, so I don't have to do like
Mm-hmm.
too much work. But yeah, like recording,
Mm-hmm.
mixing, all. I do use Lou's preset. I use a tweaked version of Lou's preset. I'll throw that out there. Disclaimer, because I know she's probably gonna watch this and be like, "Why didn't you message me?" I do, but
Mm-hmm.
besides that, everything is like pretty much self-taught.
Okay, and I mean, like, how do you think like having to like basically navigate all that and like figure everything out yourself has like sort of shaped the way that you approach music?
Uh, I think it's crazy. Again, I'm not the biggest fucking the best example for this because I personally don't feel like I have to do too fucking much. But just anyone figuring out how to like navigate anything and then coming out with a finished product that anyone likes, I think is super impressive. I think anyone making music and posting it is like brave as fuck. But
Mm-hmm.
or any content is fucking crazy brave because you just have to put shit out there and like see if people like it or not, and like you don't know. But like the learning process is always gonna be different for everybody, and I think mine took like a year and a half. So like it's just, and I'm still learning. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, like it's a massive leap of faith to take. So I think it's always commendable whenever people like even if somebody puts out like a sort of half baked project or something like that. I'm like, hey, you know what? You took the leap to put that out there. So
I think people don't like acknowledge like how big of a risk it is to like
mm-hmm.
to put shit out on the internet, especially like on the fucking internet, dude.
Mm-hmm.
People are mean, dude. People are rude. People will tell
Especially
you
on
what they
SoundCloud.
think.
Have you read those comments? Like,
Dude, people are mean. People are ruthless. People will
mm-hmm.
let you know what they think because it's
Yeah.
anonymous. But I think
Mm-hmm.
being brave enough to put shit out there, especially when you care about it and you think like I put my time into this, like I want people to hear it. Like I think that's
Mm-hmm.
super brave.
Yeah, no, and I mean like you mentioned you don't produce or anything like that, but like and I mean it's usually like the most intimidating shit ever when I hear like my music like my producer friends talk about they're like, hey, check out this like Umru snare I made in Ableton, and I'm just like I just check out because I don't know what the fuck they're
Yeah,
talking about.
dude.
But has anyone like Hollow, has anyone ever like tried to maybe think about like maybe getting into the producing side of things? Because I know like for example, Avit is trying to get back into like the producing side of things recently.
Yeah, I think Avid doing that is sick as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've thought about it. I want to do it soon. Like I have a guitar. I want to learn how to play the guitar. I
Hmm.
want to like get more into the craft of it. But I think one of the pros of having Hollow is someone I can bounce ideas off of and be like, does this sound cool? Like that is like my right hand. Like I can ask
Hmm.
them to do some shit. They'll do it. They can ask me if this sounds cool. Like we have a hand in each one of my songs. Every one of my songs with Hollow or even with Zeke or whatever is like a 50-50 thing. Like that's my song, that's Hollow's song. And I think that's one of the pros of having one person that you work with consistently is like having that person that like my ideas can go through them and like it'll come out like as a product that we both enjoy. Uh, which I think self-prod people have like on their own, like they can bounce ideas off themselves and just
Right.
put it down pen and paper.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, like, I'm sure it's like it's intimidating to get into at first. I'm sure starting out like at any like at the base of like any production or like any sort of like even like video editing,
Hmm.
photo stuff, like any photography stuff like that. It's intimidating to get into at the beginning. So as someone who's like like maybe like thinking of getting into it, I'm sure you understand how like sort of like
Hmm.
holy shit, there's a lot to learn. Um,
Yeah.
so, and I mean, not to mention you're self-taught in terms of like vocals and recording and everything like that. So, what would you say to somebody who maybe is like interested in getting into music, but is maybe like intimidated at the road ahead of them?
Just practice. This goes for like everything, obviously, like video editing, taking pictures, drawing, like everything. Just practice, 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 practice. Just do it over and over and over because you're probably gonna make some shit. Maybe you enjoy for like 2 seconds, but like you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
make a lot of songs that you're gonna look back and be like, okay, I didn't know what I was doing at all,
Right.
but it's okay because like eventually you're gonna get better. Like you're gonna improve. Like that's just how things work. As if you just do them over and over and over again and just make a million fucking songs that are just maybe not as good. It's just for that one that's like, okay, I like this. Like, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it if you really care about it.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, like, there's for every like golden nugget that you get out of it and release online, I'm sure there's like a dozen. Like how many tracks would you say that you have like in the vault that you're just never that are never going to see the light of day?
Jesus fucking Christ. Over the past like 2 years, like maybe like a couple thousand. Like,
So,
Jesus.
shit. Wow.
Like there's like, that's just being like realistic. Like, there's
Mhm.
so many songs that are just never ever gonna drop, or they have dropped and I've taken them down immediately. Like,
Mhm.
there's like, the only time I've made something, anything that I've been proud of has been like the last couple months, like starting with Karma.
Mhm.
Like that's the only track record I've been proud of. But you have to make everything before that,
Right.
because who the fuck would know where would you be without it?
Mhm. Yeah, like what
It's important.
progression would you make? Especially because like I've just been telling people if they're intimidated, just start because the barrier for entry is so low. Like you recorded vocals on like a Blue Snowball, right?
I still record vocals on his Blue Snowball,
Okay,
but
I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna judge. I'm just yeah.
yeah. But no, I started it. My first song ever was recorded on my phone on iMovie, like iMovie iOS. Like, I put the beat in there and I used the voiceover thing to record the vocals. Like, that's how I started. You have to start somewhere, and you'll get there.
Yeah.
Like, it always happens.
Just imagining you in and like just posted up in like a closet or just spitting straight into the bottom of your
Oh,
phone.
genuinely, like that's really
Mhm.
like just how it was.
Yeah. Um. And then I mean, like from what I can gather, you really, really seem like really into just the process of making music and whatnot. But are there ever any days where you feel like maybe not as motivated, maybe like class is whooping your ass or anything like that? Do you ever sort of feel demotivated some days?
Yeah. It happens a lot where, like, you have a lot of things going on in your life, and then you like look at like a song you just dropped or something, and you're like, it's not doing as well as you would hoped or something. But I think one of the main things that's really important, like obviously besides starting something, is like keeping going. Because there have been so many times where like things were just not as good as I hoped, but like I just had to keep it pushing for the hope that one day they would be as good as they are. So like just keeping consistent with something, and like taking the time to actually like keeping pushing, like that's so important.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's a bummer to like see people who are like maybe having like a hard time with like whether their songs are performing or maybe they're like they've taken a direction that they don't necessarily like. I've seen some stuff recently. I really hope like for example like Quinn is doing okay. I understand she's had some shit happen recently.
Hmm.
But yeah, transitioning from that, recently there's a hot debate going on Twitter right now because Cole Bennett tweeted some shit about how the SoundCloud scene used to be dominated by a lot of independent artists. I'm sure you've seen the tweet,
Yeah.
but I'm wondering how do you like as someone who's seen a lot of success on SoundCloud, like that's like from what I can gather, you're like your main platform. Um, what do you think about that sort of like take on the scene in general?
Well, I think a lot of people in my community, at
Hmm.
least, like, were not very happy with that take. They
Hmm.
were they were not very happy at all. But I think you have to kind of look at it with the nuance of like, it was a dumb tweet. I won't
Right.
lie to you. That was a bad take.
Hmm.
But it's only a bad take because he doesn't know what he doesn't know.
Right.
Like it's got to be so easy to like look out and like see, because he knows about Glaive. It's just like
Hmm.
he knows almost about the community, but he's just right there on the tip of his
Right.
fucking tongue, dude. And like voicing an opinion like that, like so many people pointed out, like, you are the industry. Like, you can't
Hmm.
be mad at the industry when you have become the industry. Like, it's very, it wasn't the best take, but like, it's okay. People don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, like I mean, like I have a lot of respect for Cole Bennett. Like obviously he's a talented ass dude, and like I mean, it just feels a little bit hypocritical for him to be like standing on top of a mountain that like he admittedly helped build, but then like
Yeah.
looking out like all these people trying to reach up to his point and being like, "Ah, you guys aren't doing it the right way." Like what? That-
Literally, it's like I don't. He's not the problem, Okay, well,
Mhm.
Cole Bennett is super important to the culture. Obviously, like he's
Mhm.
he's pretty much made a wave of one of the most important forms of media, like besides the music, is the video side of it. And
Mhm.
admittedly, he is super influential in that. It's just like you said, like he's standing on a mountain that he's created, and like he's looking out into the distance and be like, I can't see anything. Like
Mhm.
dude, you're that high up because you put yourself that high up. But
Mhm.
I don't think it's that hard to like look out and like find what you think is missing.
Mhm.
I don't know. That's just me.
I get that though, and I mean like, speaking of SoundCloud, you recently hopped on their Instagram story to talk about Obsessed. Can you tell us about how that got brought to fruition?
Uh,
This name has been redacted.
the goat, he
Mhm.
just hit me up and was like, "Yo, like I want to help you get SoundCloud to promote this.
Mhm.
Just send me something to put on their story." And I did it, and that happened. I think a lot of people think it's like a more important thing that it is.
Mhm.
Don't go harassing
Them.
actually because of this. I feel bad that I even like brought their name up now that I think about
Hey,
it.
I can
'Cause,
redact it easy. Don't worry about
yeah,
it.
dude, please. Actually, now that I think about it, but yeah, dude, just somebody works at SoundCloud. They asked me like help
Mhm.
promote it. I put it in, and there it is. A lot of people were like thinking it's more than it was.
Mhm.
I think a lot of like locals hit me up and were like, what's this? And I was just like, eh.
I viewed it as like a big thing because I mean, it's like you could view it as like a cosign from like a massive company, but like I get that. Yeah, if it's just like a sort of hey, here's like an Instagram video, ship it over.
Yeah,
Um,
it's definitely cool. I don't know. It's kind of surreal because it is like the biggest. It's the biggest platform for underground music, but
mhm.
I don't know. Instagram story.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean like the SoundCloud people on like SoundCloud in general have been like really damn receptive to like I mean cuz they are like so based in like the underground like you said.
Hmm.
So they've been really really good and receptive to this entire scene. However, there's a lot of differing opinions on the way Spotify has handled it.
Yeah,
So
shout out SoundCloud for that, dude. A lot of
mhm.
that is
That person,
actually like
they.
got the job at SoundCloud and has just been working so effortlessly to put this community on to SoundCloud. It's just I respect that person so much. Like, and I respect SoundCloud a lot for being receptive to our community in general and like handing it with open arms and such. And people within the community have differing opinions about how things are being handled, whether there's discrimination based on sounds or whatever. But honestly, like maybe I'm biased, but I
Mhm.
think it's a pretty I think it's a pretty varying amount of sounds that are like being promoted and being pushed by SoundCloud themselves. Spotify, I can't even be mad at,
Mhm.
honestly. Like we were the fucking like imposters like a year ago,
Mhm.
like on that playlist. Like we're the people that didn't fit,
Mhm.
and then people want to like kind of take that over. Like
Mhm.
I don't know like about everything with the hyperpop playlist and everything
Mhm.
like that, but I don't know if we per se own that.
Mhm.
I just kind of take it as I'm grateful that people in my community have been able to be pushed by Spotify, and I'll take it and leave it at that.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, like, of course, like I've sort of a lot of people get pissed because it's like a lot of people get pissed at the label of hyperpop in general. But I think there's upsides and downsides because obviously it's like a
Yeah.
massive platform and like putting on for a community. But at the same time, they throw Nav into the playlist and it's like what?
Shout out Clay. Jesus.
Yeah. But I'm wondering, what do you think of like the sort of like the tendency for people to label whether it be like anything from your music to like break-ins as hyperpop?
Jesus. So I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of people, at least in this community, that don't like the label at all. They
Mm-hmm.
don't like it put on their music. They even have like a kind of like looking down stance on it. Um, but honestly, to me, it's just another label for music. It's I'm grateful. I'm so grateful actually that our community has the chance to be put on by this massive label that's like coming up. Like hyperpop is in the mouth of everybody right now, from the entire industry down to like some kid in their bedroom. Like people are talking about it. Like we are at least I'm grateful to have the opportunity to be included in that conversation, whether it's something that I think fits my music or not. Because at the end of the day, I think everyone like would like be okay to say like they just make music, like they don't really like labels. Nobody really likes labels. Like some people are mad that they're called rap, and some people are mad that they're called pop. But at the end of the day, it's just music, and like it's not really even our choice anymore if we get put there or not. So yeah,
Right. Yeah. I think that's a really honestly kind of like damn wise approach to it. I think that's like a pretty level-headed like because I mean, yeah, you can get upset about like rightfully upset even about like the fact that people are like potentially like mislabeling this stuff. Like, because I would say your stuff is closer to like pop and punk and stuff like that. But
hmm
I think in general, I think it's doing more good than harm. However, there is sort of like a blurred line right there. So,
Yeah.
and of course, like in the community, it seems like there's a new artist blowing up every like 10 seconds in the community. So if you could pick a handful of people to put our listeners onto right now, who would you pick?
Jesus Christ. Elliot, the entirety of World on Lockdown, the entirety of Planet Zero. Jesus Christ, there's so many names.
Yeah.
Smaller artists that I really fuck with, I think. Definitely Elliot, definitely Kian, definitely Nestle, definitely Damn, can I pull up my playlist real quick?
Absolutely, go for it. No, I know it's one of those questions you don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to forget anybody. It's like
yeah, dude, oh my god. I would be such a favorite. Okay, definitely Raygun, definitely
Raygun, yeah.
Everyone I just said. Raygun, oh my god. Raygun was one of the first like friends I ever made in this community, just on like Twitter and stuff. I'm so happy that they're going up to like love that kid. Psych, fucking even people that like are like the same size as me, like Numlock, like fucking Heaven. These are not even like small artists. These are just people I listen to at this point.
Right.
But yeah, dude, World on Lockdown, Planet Zero, big love for everyone in like that side. Like I love those kids so much.
Awesome, yeah. And then like on a similar note, how about we use this time to manifest some shit? If you could pick like a couple dream people to work with at some point off in the future, like dead or alive, that could be anybody. It could be fucking Breakins or Gerard Way. Who would you pick?
It's definitely those two people, actually. Breakins and Gerard Way, definitely. But Charli XCX, Weethan.
Okay, I saw you were manifesting some other shit about her on Twitter the other day, but I mean, we don't have to talk about that.
Dude, no, I literally just wanted a song. People take that the wrong way. I just wanted a song.
Yeah, okay. Dude. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, definitely Charli XCX, definitely 100 Gex even, like Dylan Brady and Laura Les are like not the biggest inspirations per se, but they're legendary like on their own, you know. I'm friends with Eric, but I'd love to work with Eric at some point. Alden definitely. Fucking I'm looking at my playlist again.
You're all good.
A485, like yeah, dude, the people I'm like surrounded by, I'm inspired by. Like I love everyone's music. Oh shit, and Joji, holy shit, dude, I love Joji so much.
Oh really? That'd be fucking crazy, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, no, that'd be a fucking Joji featuring Juno. That rolls off the tongue pretty well. But
the J names.
Yeah, but you've come a long way in 2020 alone, and I think I'm super fucking excited for what the future holds for you. But what are some of your goals going forward in 2021? What can we expect from Juno going forward?
I want to release a couple projects. I want to make more songs with my friends, and that's like the only like main two overarching goals. Like obviously everyone wants to see like a certain number and like hopefully hit it, but it's whatever. To honestly, I'm just really focused on the music and my friends. That's all I really care about.
All right, that's awesome, man. I mean, like I'm hoping for like, I mean, hopefully once like travel becomes a bit less of an issue, I'm hoping for an Overcast video. Maybe that'd be fucking sick.
Yeah, dude, I met some of the Overcast people in real life. They're super sick. They're nice people.
Tommy came up, right? I think.
Yeah, well, I've met Tommy. I didn't like talk too much to them, but I've seen all of them. They're very nice. Like.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Tommy's an awesome dude. I've talked to him a couple times before.
They're super correct at what they do, by the way. Like, insane.
Yeah, holy fucking shit. Did you see the like the video they did with Midwest? That one was crazy.
Insane. Actually, shout out Midwest, dude. I love Edgar so much. Like, yeah, great dude.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us. This interview is going to be difficult to find because whenever I looked up Juno interview, the only thing I got was fucking Michael Cera videos from 2007. But yeah. I really, really appreciate you making the time for us. If you could say one final thing to our listeners, what would it be?
Shout out hyperpop. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that over fucking the first interview Eric ever did. He got asked a similar question. Fucking dumbass. He said like if I had the
one thing that you could say to the world, he said shout out
or what? No. What he said is like if I had the world's attention for like 10 seconds, I would tell white women to tap in.
Yeah, dude. You have no how many times I've clowned that kid for that, dude.
That's so funny.
That's so dumb.
Fucking oh my god. That's Eric in a nutshell in general. If everybody wants to get a good sense of what he's like.
The DOA himself, dude.
Yeah, Dante, let's go. But yeah, I really appreciate making time for us. Honestly, you're one of the most like well-spoken, and like I know damn well, I don't want to say like at your age, this was like a fucking year ago, but I was not as well-spoken and like well-coordinated and thought through as much as you were, so it's really impressive. Thank you so much.
Dude, I appreciate you like reaching out so much. It's been a lot of fun.
Ready to call, and I tell them to listen, but they never do. And I don't wanna sound like you, I'm doing something new. She sounds like the rest, says she way too obsessed. Thinking one more day and then I'll be gone. And she likes, you know why you like that at all.